Jay fans, good morning. And what a morning it's been. It may be extremely foggy here in Toronto, but you know what? The sun is shining on all of us as the Blue Jays, they address their biggest need. And it's trading away Kirby Snead. I just wanted to do that because it rhymed. And acquiring Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman from the Oakland A's. Everyone's going to yell and say, oh, what about Jose Ramirez? Why couldn't we do that? We wanted him. Look, we'll get to that in a second. But the Jays acquire, let's run through this real quick. 2-time Platinum Gold Glove winner at third base, Matt Chapman. Let that all sink in for a second. With spring training, I don't know, if you want to count today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it gets going. And the season starts less than a month, April 8th. I will be there. I am even more excited now. And Matt Chapman is a Toronto Blue Jay. And that infield looks absolutely disgusting now. Disgusting. You put Biggio in his comfortable second base spot, right? Or even Espinal, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. But as of right now, you have Vladdy at first, which is good. I wanted to keep him there, but if Friedman came, you get your tail to third base, pal. Vladdy will stay at first. You got maybe Biggio at second. You got obviously Bo at short. And oh yeah, by the way, I'll say it again. 2-time Platinum Gold Glove winner, Matt Chapman at third. Now, who did the Jays? Let's get to who we got Matt Chapman before we gave up. So not only is he 2-time Gold Glover, get this. He has, with 5 seasons with the Oakland A's, he has 78 defensive runs saved and 49 outs above average. Bottom line, the guy's got range and he makes some big time plays. Matt Chapman is a grade A defender at third base, and that defensively last year, we all know, was a complete abomination until we found Breivik. That's not even a funny joke. Let's get to Matt Chapman again. So, another good thing about Chapman, he is not a rental player. He's not a free agent after this. He's a free agent after next season. In 2023, after that year, he will be a free agent, an unrestricted free agent. So we'll see what happens at that point. But no matter what, you got the guy for 2 years. It's incredible stuff. The thing I wanted to bring up is he's been healthy. That's obviously such a massive thing in sports. If you are a player that's injury prone, good luck, especially coming on turf. And that's going to be a question with Matt Chapman. Can he do it on turf? Well, we'll see. But Matt Chapman, I wanted to bring these up. He's been very healthy. In 2018, he played 145 games. Got all these written down here. 2019, he played 156 games. And in 2021, this past year, 151 games. He's been very healthy. Only 30-odd games there in the shortened season. But really, you really going to count that COVID year as a regular season? I'm not. So he's been very healthy. And what else we are? So the one problem, the one thing that I hope they can find a way to limit when it comes to Matt Chapman, and with him being in the year already 5 years, I don't really know how you're going to do it, but the strikeout numbers for Matt Chapman are big. They're big numbers, right? He struck out 202 times last season. That is a ton of strikeouts. And in those 2 years where he played full seasons in 18 and 19, he had 147 strikeouts and 146. Well, that's not too bad. 147, 146 aren't too bad. Just under a strikeout per game, and in this day and age, that's not too bad. But the 202 last season is definitely a struggle. Last season, he did have 27 home runs and 72 RBIs on the Oakland A's. You put him in this dangerous lineup, in the middle of this absolutely filthy, dangerous lineup that is the Toronto Blue Jays with George Springer, Teoscar Hernandez, Vladdy, Bo, now Matt Chapman. You can throw Gurriel into the mix. This lineup, it's very right-handed heavy, obviously. But when you're putting that many dominant right-handed bats, I don't care if they're righties or lefties. Someone's going to bash you. And another thing that I want to bring up with Matt Chapman, not only, right, he strikes out a ton, 202, and it's unfortunate, but he clubs home runs, and you put him in the AL East parks, it's going to be crazy. He did walk 80 times, and that is something that he has done over his career. So yeah, the strikeout numbers are they're fairly high, but the guy walks a ton. So he'll walk a ton, do a lot of production. The batting average might not be there. However, again, I'll say it. You bring him to the American League East. You put him with that much protection in our lineup. He's going to get a lot more pitches to hit. So that all those numbers could skyrocket. So I'm not too worried about his numbers. The thing that I'm loving is the 2-time Platinum Gold Glove winner. This defense core on the Jays just looks that much better on the infield. It is absolutely incredible. They've added to their rotation, getting Kikuchi for 3 years. You now added Matt Chapman to your defense and to your offense even. It's incredible. And we're watching the Yankees and we're watching the Red Sox. Well, the Red Sox are in on Freddie Freeman, so we'll see how that all plays out. But with the Yankees bringing back Rizzo, they're not doing anything with Freeman. Correa, I don't know if they'll end up getting Correa. If they don't and he goes somewhere else, then holy smokes, it's crazy. Now, let's get to the players. And I know a lot of some A's fans will be here. By the way, Matt Chapman's only 28 years old. Great thing as well. And what did the Jays give up? That's obviously something that we've seen in the past about being, whether somebody likes to trade or not likes to trade, like Barrios, right? For example, everybody, well, not everybody, but I'd say 85% of people, when that trade went down and we saw what we gave up, overpay. Then you see what Martin and Simeon Woods did in the second half with the Minnesota farm system. Then you see what Barrios did for the Jays in the second half, and then they're like, oh. And then they locked Barrios up, and we're like, damn good trade. Let's get to this one. The Jays give up Kevin Smith, who arguably is the most MLB-ready player on the Blue Jays farm system, right? 25-year-old kid. He struggled in the big leagues, though. He played 18 games with the Jays last season, hit .094 for the year, 194 on-base percentage, and a 188 slugging percentage. Only the one home run in those games. So definitely struggled at the big league level, but his AAA numbers last season were spectacular. Very good in AAA. 285 average, 378 on base, 561 slugging percentage, 21 home runs, 69 RBIs in 94 games in AAA. So he did a really good job down there. The question is, and the question will be moving forward in Oakland, can he transform that into the big leagues? And that's something that's obviously not our problem now. That is now Oakland's issue. The next player, Gunnar Hoglund, was the Jays' first-round pick this past draft. He's 22 years old now. However, he did have Tommy John surgery. That's probably why he dropped as much as he did. But that's more of a project for Oakland. And that was why the Jays picked him up, is because, hey, you know what? You got the stuff. You're really, really good in college, right? At Ole Miss, he was 10-5 with a 368 earned run average and a 10.5 strikeout per 9 innings. So you definitely can do a job that sense. But the Tommy John surgery, well, it's going to be a time thing, obviously. Will he come back and be half decent? And he's got to go through the farm system. So it's like, it's more of a long game for Gunnar Hoglund for the A's. So I'm totally fine with that move. Zach Lowe was the other piece going, the left-handed pitcher in the Jays farm system. He's a 9th-round pick in 2019. But last season, he really took that next step. He had a 367 ERA and a 1.11 whip in AA and AAA last season in 24 starts. He did a really good job in AAA. I think it was like a 330-something ERA in AAA last season. So he did a really good job. A lefty, however, 25 years old. Again, there's a reason why he's taking a little bit of time going. And the Jays are in win now mode. They don't need any more lefty starting pitchers, at least for the time being. And they don't need that stuff. So that's fine. He was expendable, Zach Lowe. And Kirby Snead was the last piece going, the 27-year-old guy. Again, there was really not a whole lot on him. Was on the Blue Jays last season. Came up to the big leagues later in the season. Had 7 outings. Had a 2.35 ERA. And I think I can't even read my writing. A 2.52 whip. Maybe something. That seems really high. Either way. And I thought he was okay in 7 2/3 innings. I thought he was all right with the Jays. Again, the stuff, I don't really know how it's going to play too much in the big leagues. Obviously, 27 years old and just making his big league debut last season. So it's kind of tricky to go off of that. But again, a lot of wild cards for the A's. You look at a guy like Gunnar Hoglund and Kevin Smith. Obviously, those two are the blue chips in the deal. Kevin Smith, the top 5 prospect for the Jays, even at 25 years old. Again, for Jays fans watching, I absolutely adore this deal. And the last time the Jays got a third baseman and gave the Oakland A's a prospect haul, I don't know, I just turned into AL MVP Josh Donaldson, who is now a New York Yankee, which pains me dearly. But, again, the guy's 36 years old, so I'm not complaining. So I look at this deal for the Jays, and I'm like, look, offensively, Chapman's going to bash home runs. He's going to do that, especially in the American League East. He's going to put a lot of production. The question for me is strikeouts. Can he find a way to bring those down a touch? You know what you're going to get defensively. The guy's a 2-time platinum gold glove win. I mean, he fills the hole of the need. And you did not trade any roster players. You did not trade any of your blue chip prospects. You didn't trade Moreno. You didn't trade, Jordan Groshans, right? You still have Nate Pearson. All these guys, which is incredible. You didn't have to give any of your blue chip guys, or Elvis Martinez, you didn't have to trade either. So it is wild. The Jays just acquired this piece, and it's insane. Now, let me just move forward here and kind of see what happens. So, with Jose Ramirez, I was saying initially how that kind of takes them out of the sweepstakes. Well, I read not too long ago on Twitter that the Jays are kicking tires with them again, and I'm like, damn, are they going again? Now, if I'm the Blue Jays, though, they got to be careful with this, because we heard earlier in the day that the asking price for Jose Ramirez started with Manoah and Moreno, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. That's not as much as Jose Ramirez is great. You're not a chance. The fact that we got Matt Chapman for this makes Jose Ramirez. Yeah, we don't really need to trade for Jose Ramirez. Look, would it be great? Would it make the lineup just look stupid? Yeah, it would. But is it really worth trading? I don't know, arguably your best prospect in, actually no, forget that. Your best prospect in Gabe Moreno, and obviously, Alek Manoah, forget that. With Alek Manoah, in our opinion, was a damn good rookie last season and deserved some Rookie of the Year conversation. That didn't really happen. No thanks. I'm good. But if you want to look a little bit lower on, you want to look to some 4 guys like the Oakland A's did, and maybe add some more talent to that, but forget about those 2 guys. Maybe Jordan Groshans, maybe an Elvis Martinez, even though I don't want to trade those guys. If you're getting a Jose Ramirez, yes, please. So I look at this trade for the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'm on paper right now, I'm like, man, that looks like a fleece and a half. You got a gold glove third baseman, which you desperately need. I mean, you didn't really need a gold glove. You needed a good third baseman. You got a gold glove third baseman with a lot of power. And that's a crazy thing, Jays fans. When Josh Donaldson came over to the Blue Jays, his batting average, people love that stat, wasn't the greatest in his last year of Oakland. But the power was there. The production was there. Then you brought him over to the Blue Jays. The average went up because of the line of protection with Jose and Edwin. The production went through the damn roof. He was phenomenal. So you bring in Matt Chapman, not expecting him to do the same thing, not expecting him to win AL MVP, that's for sure. But what that now does, instead of acquiring a Jose Ramirez or a Freddie Freeman, because the number, it makes everything so much better. And Jays fans, I also want to throw this at you. With Matt Chapman being a free agent in 2 years, I understand we're all like, well, you don't want to lose him to free agency. I get that. But what trading for Matt Chapman does, instead of signing a guy like Freddie Freeman, it gives you that freedom to re-sign Bo and Vladdy. Because Matt Chapman is making $9.5 million this year because he's in arbitration. Same with next year. Right, all this season he's making that 9.5. He'll go into arbitration next year, get something out of it, unless the Jays want to lock him up, but we'll see what happens there. And Bo and Vladdy will still be able to sign those contracts. So that gives you that much flexibility. Whereas if you signed a Freddie Freeman, you might have just kissed those 2 guys goodbye, because that would be like 150, 160 million, maybe even more than that contract. And you have that big contract. You have George Springer's massive contract on your books, and then you want to sign these 2 massive worldly contracts? Good luck with that. But with bringing in a Matt Chapman, making that limited amount of money, that gives them the freedom that if they sign those 2 guys, they can do it. So it just makes so much sense in so many ways. But we're going to keep an eye on this Jose Ramirez stuff, because if they do find a way, it makes everything look ridiculous. All right, Jays fans, so you know what? That is going to do it for this one. You enjoyed the video, and you guys are pumped for opening day, April 8th. The next spring training in a couple days. Smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below. Thoughts on the video. Thoughts on the game. Not the game. The trade for the Toronto Blue Jays. Matt Chapman for Kevin Smith, Gunnar Hoglund, Zach Lowe, and Kirby Snead. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Twitter link is down below, so follow up. Send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. I will talk to you guys, Raptors edition, later tonight, as they are taking on the Clippers, 10:30 tip-off. No matter what, I'll be talking to you guys, though. And as for the Leafs, I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow night, I believe. Yes, Thursday night, as they host the Carolina Hurricanes, Scotiabank Arena, maybe a Shellgren game again. I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out though tomorrow night for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as for the Blue Jays, heck, I don't know what I'm going to talk to you next. Maybe spring training wise tomorrow, or maybe another trade or signing wise later today or tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen, but no matter what, I will talk to you guys tomorrow night for the Jays spring training preview show, and it's going to be a lot more fun now that they've acquired Matt Chapman. But yeah, spring training gets going Friday, and I'll be doing that weekly review as I always do for the Toronto Blue Jays, all right? It'll probably be on I don't know, maybe like a Wednesday or something, maybe like a Monday or a Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out, though, Jays fans. No matter what, baseball is right around the corner, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for sure, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the trade this morning. We'll talk to you guys then.